Hello and welcome to Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver. I'm your host, the elusive Rabbit Beaver, and joining me today via telephone is half of IceCream Truk. Unfortunately, the other half said that they had to train hard to take somebody to clown college this coming weekend to win a heavyweight championship. So what we've got with us today is none other than the American Diesel Dog Truk himself. Truk, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Yeah, you got the better half of IceCream Truk.
I'm so glad that we do, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. We're going to take it all the way back to Fright Night. It looked like you all just weren't on the same page at Fright Night, and it seems like it's carried over ever since. Can you kind of talk to us about it? What's been going on? What's been happening?
Man, ever since we lost those titles, the East Tennessee Tag Team titles, and I'm going to say we lost because of Squeaks. Because all he wants to do is play games. I mean, he wants to be a clown. And I'm more than let's get serious. I mean, we were 2-time East Tennessee Tag Team champions. We came in on our first day at School of Morton and were number one contenders for those said titles.
That is very true. You did come in and you were the number one contenders right off the bat because you all had such great chemistry, such great things working for you. What happened there? How was it that the chemistry has just gone away? You said that he just wants to clown around. What do you mean by that?
He wants to clown around and he wants to pick up strays off the street like Christian Lee, and he wants to mold him into the clown that he never could be. And it shouldn't be Truk, Squeaks, and then Popsicle or Icicle or whatever they want to call him. IceCream Truk was the American Diesel Dump Truck and Squeaks the Clown.
Wow, you sound like it's really personal between you and him picking up people off the street, as you say. Do you think that the wedge that has been caused by you was done more by management than by Squeaks himself, or do you think Squeaks just has a soft spot?
I think Squeaks is just too soft-hearted. I think he's got an affection for strays, and when it comes, I'm a good-hearted person. But when it comes time for business, it's time for business.
And it seems like it's been time for business for you for about a month now. It seems like you've been trying to get everything back on the same page, back to the place where it was supposed to be, back to the place where you were. But for some reason, it's just not clicking like it used to. Can you point to why it's not clicking?
It's all Squeaks.
Go ahead.
I'm going in. I'm training every day. I've changed my eating habits. I've changed my training habits. I've changed just about everything I could think of to make Dump Truck a better wrestler. And all Squeaks knows how to do is just play games, the pranks and ribs and all this other kind of stuff. And he wants to call himself a champion. You can't be a champion by playing games. We didn't get those East Tennessee Tag Team titles at 2 different times by playing games. You know, brother, there was one time that IceCream Truk was tag team champions in 3 different promotions.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely accurate. You were. All 3 promotions you held the gold in because you all were all business at one point in time. And it's like you said, there's something that's changed here to change it from being all business.
Squeaks is getting too tender-hearted and he's getting too comfortable.
Too comfortable, you say? Well, I know a little birdie has reached out to me and told me that the 25th of January, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for the both of you. And that's going to be at See No Evil Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken, in Gastonia, North Carolina. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
And tell us what's going to happen there.
That is going to be an implosion that people are not going to want to miss. It's going to be the American Diesel dump truck, the new and improved American Diesel dump truck versus the same old Squeaks Da Clown in a last man standing match for the See No Evil World Heavyweight title.
And man, what a match that's going to be, especially since it's brother versus brother, friend versus friend, partner versus partner in Gastonia, North Carolina, January 25th. What time are they expected the doors to open there, sir?
I think the doors open at 4 or 5, and the show's at like I just got out of training, and I'm still, my mind's.
That's okay. I will update everybody at a later date. We will find out for you in just a few moments exactly what's going on there, Truk. But I know you've been training hard. You've been training for this match. You've been training for some other matches that are going to be taking place as well. Now, you've got new tag team gold holders there at the School of Morton in Ryan Mantis and TKO, Josh Turner himself. So I know that they're going to be high up on your list to get that gold bag. Do you think that you can come on the same page with Squeaks Da Clown? It might take you beating the hell out of him in Gastonia first, but do you think you can come on the same page to get that gold back, sir?
It's, brothers fight, families argue, and sometimes you just need to knock the hell out of each other, to knock some sense into somebody. And I believe that we're going to knock enough sense into each other that we can work back up to being 3-time East Tennessee Tag Team Champions. I would love for that to happen because those belts mean more to me than anything.
Well, Dumb Truck, I wish you the best on that. I know that you can do it, especially with the challenge that's going to be laid out here a little bit later on today, because I know that you're hungry and you're eager for not only those East Tennessee Tag Team titles, but you're hungry for that World Heavyweight Championship that See No Evil is going to be offering you. And I know that you're going to do everything possible in order to win. Can you give us just a little bit of a glimpse of what you want to do to your partner?
Brother, the things I'm going to do to him to bring him back to where he needs to be, I don't even think I can say over the phone without incriminating myself. I'm literally, I'm going to hurt this clown. I'm going to knock the paint off his face. I hate to say that, hate to do that, but I mean, sometimes that's just what's got to happen.
Well, you're absolutely right. Sometimes that's exactly what's going to have to happen, sir. You're going to have to knock the paint right off of his face. You're going to have to make sure that he realizes there's no clowning around now. But as I told you earlier, he was actually scheduled to be here to talk about this match against you, and he respectfully messaged me and declined that he could come on today, and he said that he had to train harder in order to take you to clown college, was his exact words. So he's expecting to win this match. He's expecting to come out on top in this match, and I don't agree that he will, even though he seems to be trying to get focused and stay on top here. Do you want to say anything to him specifically, sir?
Squeaks, brother, I hope you were training hard down there in South Carolina. Because, brother, I'm in the trenches, right? I'm in the trenches up here in Tennessee. I'm training with some of the best from different promotions, NWA, Tom Pritchard, JPC, or WC. Brother, you better train hard because I'm going to take you to the limits you've never seen, and I'm going to beat you for that heavyweight title. That's a promise.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it, Truk. To the bottom of my soul, I believe that you're going to be able to come out victorious and win this title from him. But we had some fans come in, and one specifically reminded me of an event that took place not too long back. You remember when Squeaks broke your nose?
Yeah, he did.
Talk about it for a minute.
We had a little match, and things got a little heated, and that was one of the worst fights I've ever been in. It really has. It was with my own partner, Squeaks. Me and him, we beat the holy hell out of each other. And he threw me up against the ring post, and it broke my nose. And I can't even look at him. Every time I see a clown, I want to put my fist through that picture.
And understandably, especially after something that could have cost you that beautiful face that you've got, it might have been reconstructive surgery, might have been needed to rebuild that nose and rebuild that face. You really got out lucky on this one, especially from that. But I'm going to tell you right now, Squeaks, if you're listening out there, you've got a man that's angry, and he's hell-bent on making you pay the way that you made him pay. So you better bring everything you got right there at See No Evil Wrestling, the 25th of January in Gastonia, North Carolina. The doors will be opening at 4:30. The bell time will be at 5:30 p.m. And you guys don't want to miss this. Now, Truk, I know you were at the Buckhouse Stampede here recently. You want to talk about that? Tell us a little bit about what went on.
Man, the Buckhouse, that's crazy. Actually, that was my 1-year anniversary at School of Morton.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And it's overwhelming at times, because when I first started in this business, like me and you talked off camera and off phone before, that I was told I'd never be good enough to go to the School of Morton. And I'm getting kind of emotional just thinking about it, because I've been there for a year, and I've been welcomed in to this school like family. And I'm so grateful for the School of Morton. They have changed my life completely to be a better person and a better wrestler. And I love this business more than I could ever imagine. And I'll always be grateful to the people in the back at School of Morton and all the wrestlers at School of Morton for changing me for the better. And I just hope I do proud.
Dump Truck, you definitely are doing them proud. Speaking of the School of Morton, here recently we've had a very sad event that's taken place there. Our own Bobby Spires, Robert Spires, Bobby Lee, passed away at one of the tapings that's there. Can you speak just a little bit about how much he meant to you and the things that he would say to you to encourage you to be a better person and a better wrestler every day?
It's funny you said that, because the first day I stepped into the School of Morton, of course, James Strange, the owner of School of Morton, was the first face I'd seen. But the first person I actually got to sit down and talk to was Uncle Bob. And I told him my story about how I was told that I was trash and I don't belong in this business, and how they would literally get me in the ring and try to beat the holy hell out of me to make me quit, and told me I'd never be good enough to go to the School of Morton. I'd never be good enough. I'd never get a following, none of that. And Bob told me, I remember it like it was yesterday. Bob looked me in my eyes, he grabbed my hands, and he told me, he said, Truk, he said, if you didn't belong here, you wouldn't be here. You deserve everything you get when you come through that door. And he says, I believe in you, and I'll always have your back. And from then on, it's been like a whole nother world in School of Morton. I'll always be grateful to Uncle Bob. That's hard to talk about. I love that man with all my heart.
Truck, we were announcing for Championship One Wrestling at one point in time, and we had a falling out with him, and we had to say goodbye to him. And the first person to reach out to me was Uncle Bob, Bobby Spires, Robert Spires. He reached out to me, Bobby Lee, and he told me, he said, "You got to realize it's not the end of the world. There's always going to be somewhere else for you to go." He said, "It might be a month, it might be a year, it might be 3 years, but somebody's going to see the diamond in the rough, and they're going to want you, and they're going to want you hard." And he was right on the money. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Those were some of the most encouraging words that he ever gave me in a really rough time. And so I am very grateful every day to Bobby Lee, Robert Spires, for the encouragement that he gave to each and every one of us. Every time he never had anything bad to say. He could correct you without making it sound like you were a piece of trash and horrible. And he was one of the very few people who could do that. Very few that I know. And he was always on the money when he spoke. So I am very grateful to him. And I know you are, sir.
Yes, sir. I sure am. He'll never be forgotten, and he'll always be missed.
Always. He will always have a home at the School of Morton.
Yes, sir.
I would even go as far as to say they should absolutely dedicate something to his memory, such as a title or a trophy or a battle royal. And every time that we do that, we honor his memory. I would love to see that happen at the School of Morton. It'll be something fun for everybody to have.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%.
Speaking of the School of Morton, you were talking about being in training and training hard. Give us a little bit of insight on that. What's been going on down there?
Well, when I first started getting trained, I got trained big man wrestling. I never had to run any ropes, never had to do any of the up and overs and up and downs and running the ropes and all that kind of stuff. Well, now I'm doing all that. They've got me running 5-5-5s. They got me doing up downs. They got me doing up and overs. I'm they've actually got me coming off the ropes. And like I'm trying to perfect a little thing I got going now to where do you remember the Vader bomb?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Dump Truck's got one coming, and it's called the Truck Bomb.
Yes. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Squeaks might be the first one that gets it.
Very interesting that you say that, because in just a few days in Gastonia, North Carolina, you've got a huge match with Squeaks Da Clown. I know I'm kicking this thing to death, but it's for the heavyweight championship of Sino Evil Wrestling in Gastonia, North Carolina. I believe it's at the VFW. Is that right? I'm not sure the post number.
Yes, sir.
But
at VFW.
It's at the VFW in Gastonia, North Carolina. The doors are going to be opening at 4 p.m. and the bell time's going to be at 5:30 p.m. You guys do not want to miss this show that's going to be taking place. The American Diesel Dump Truck himself is going to be going for that World Heavyweight Championship against none other than his partner, his friend, his ally, the man that he has won tag team title gold in multiple promotions with. He knows him very well. He knows the little tricks and the dirty little things he does. He's going against Squeaks Da Clown. And he's been talking about it all night. He's been talking about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And I'm going to tell you, I would love to see that Vader bomb against him in Gastonia. I think that's going to be, well, the truck bomb is what we're going to call it. The truck bomb against him in Gastonia, North Carolina. I think it would put him out of service and there'd be no clowning around that day. What do you say to that?
No, there won't be no clowning around that day. I'm going to show him that life's not always a circus. That real wrestlers get down to work, and I'm going to show them how it's done.
And that's exactly what we're expecting. Now, in the School of Morton, do you have anything that's coming up that we should be aware of? Anything special that's going to be happening in the next couple weeks?
we're going now. We were at every other Sunday. Now we're every week.
Every week you're going to be having a television taping at the School of Morton?
Yes, every week. Starting this Sunday, we go every week.
Well, that's a great time to be talking about this. The School of Morton and myself, the Rabid Beaver, have partnered up to give you guys discounted tickets. And if you go to ticketleap.com or scan that QR code on your screen right now, you can get your tickets today at checkout. Enter the promo code Rabid Beaver. That's capital RABID, capital BEAVER at checkout, and get yourself some discounted tickets to the School of Morton. They're going to be taking place right there, 128 Five Rivers Plaza in Newport, Tennessee is where it's going to be going down at. And it's going to be taking place every Sunday now, 5:05 p.m. is going to be the bell time. Come on out and see us at the School of Morton, and let's have a good time. Let's get slammed together, and let's go see the ice cream truck each and every Sunday put on something special, the American Diesel Dump Truck itself specifically.
And there is also, there's training every Monday, every Wednesday at the School of Morton, and there is open spots for this training. And I implore to anybody aspiring to be a professional wrestler, or if you just want to dirt some kinks out a little bit or fine tune something, the School of Morton is where you need to be, because you will get some of the best training in the world for what we do.
I absolutely could not agree any more with you, Dump Truck. And we've had a special guest come into the chat. Mr. Casey Kazana said, why don't you ask Truck about training with old Casey Kazana? Ha, ha, ha.
And I'm going to tell you, he is one of the best trainers alongside Kenzie Page, who NWA, she by herself has made history in the NWA. And then you got one half of the United States Tag Team Champions of the NWA in KC Kazana. That's some of the best training that I've ever gotten in my life. He's getting me out of my comfort zone and molding and shaping Dump Truck in a way that nobody ever has. And when it's all said and done, hell, you don't know, Dump Truck maybe even be SOM heavyweight champion or the East Tennessee heavyweight champion.
Whoa, Dump Truck. That's a big spoonful to take in there, especially knowing that Max Abel, the Double X superstar himself, won the East Tennessee heavyweight champion. And we also had a new world heavyweight champion get crowned in Michael Gabriel, the charismatic cult leader at the School of Morton at the bunkhouse. So you're saying that you're going to be challenging for both of those titles right here on the show. Is that correct?
When all this training is said and done, Dump Truck will be ready, and he will take his place at the top of the mountain at School of Morton, and I will be either East Tennessee or SOM heavyweight champion before the year's out.
Wow!
That is my goal. That is what I'm heading for. So watch out. Michael Gabriel, Max Abel, you're great in the ring. I respect everything about both of you guys. But you better hold those belts tight, because Dump Truck is coming. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. It might be a year from now. But I will be coming for one of those titles before it's all said and done.
Well, here's the question, though. If you choose to challenge Michael Gabriel, are you worried about that cult he's got following him called the Guiding Light? You know, he's partnered with Chase the Grizzly Bryant and also none other than Hunter Wolf, the hitman for hire himself.
Yeah, he's got him a good little clique behind him. And I've had my fair share with Michael Gabriel when we were doing the Tennessee tag titles with Gen 3. And then Hunter Wolf, I've been in the ring with him a couple, and that's another Hunter Wolf. He has done something that only less than a handful of people have ever done, and that's picked me up over their head. And like Hunter Wolf picked me up like I was a loaf of bread. and slam me to the mat. And that is one of the scariest things I've ever been through. But he's just a man.
Absolutely. I think we forget that about Hunter Wolf because he's so big and tall and so strong that we forget not only is he the hitman for hire, but he's still a man. He can still be knocked down to his knees. He can still be pinned 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. And Truk, I wish you well on that if you go on that adventure. But if you go the other way, if you're going for the East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship against none other than the Double X superstar, Max Abel, Max worked 5 years before he got any major title win. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder with that thing now, and he's going to try to hold on to it as long as he can. So if you decide to challenge Max for that, how are you going to be able to beat him fair and square in the middle of the ring for that title?
It'll be a difficult ride because, like, I've been in the ring with Max Abel too, alongside with his partner Shoot, and Max Abel is one of the hardest guys I've ever been in the ring with, hardest hitting guys I've ever been in the ring with, and I've got my things against me, but I'm sure it'll come all out. I'll find some way.
Casey Kazana came in and said, I'm not saying, that it's wrong, but he never got pinned to lose that title, and he still has a claim to that title is what he's trying to say right here.
That's the truth. He still does. He's got a claim. He never got pinned for that title, and that I agree with him on that.
So do you see yourself going in a 3-way match for that title with Casey Kazana, the Double X superstar himself, and yourself, sir?
I would love that. That would be a great match because I've been in the ring with both those guys. I know their little tricks, and I know KC's turned over a new leaf since he got away from Gen 3. He even came out to the ring when we won the East Tennessee Tag Titles the second time. He even came out with an IceCream Truck shirt on.
That's true. He did. And he was supporting you guys to the fullest when he came out. But I want to take it back a little bit because I think in recent weeks, what we've seen with him and Evan Golden has been something crazy to say the least. Best friends, then worst enemies. And now it seems like they're on the friend train again. Do you think you could trust him, especially after what's been going on with Evan Golden?
See, here's the thing with that. KC by himself, he's smart about the business. He knows his stuff. He knows what he has to do to get the W. But when you put Evan Golden in the mix with him, that's a whole nother can of gummy worms right there because Evan Golden I look at Evan Golden like a timid little chihuahua. They'll tear your ankles up and everything if you get too close and make them scared. But he talks a big game. He's a big talk.
A big game. Does he ever talk, Truk, to be honest with you? But the thing about it is sometimes he's able to back that talk up. And he was able to do it with the East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship while he had it, I should say. But I'm going to say this. I think Gold has a way of making best friends enemies, and not only enemies, but the worst of them, and then trying to bring them back in because of the jealousy one has for the other. Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%. I don't trust Evan Golden as far as I could throw him.
Well, the reason I'm making that point is because in Gastonia, you're facing your tag team partner, and it seems like there's Gold putting a wedge between you and him too, correct?
Yeah, there is. But, I mean, this isn't just about the title. This is something that.
Come on, Truk. Let's be honest about this for just a second. It's more than just about the title. You said yourself earlier tonight. You said it earlier tonight that whenever you walked into the School of Morton, you had people tell you that you would never belong, that you would never be at the pinnacle, at the top. And here you are fighting for one of the most prestigious titles in all of North Carolina. I mean, this is a big moment for you, a huge moment for you. And for your tag team partner to try and sit here and say that you don't deserve it? I mean, come on, Truk, let's be real. You want this title to prove all the naysayers wrong. Is that correct?
That is true. And see, and Squeaks should know of all people because he was there. He was there at the beginning when I first came in. And he knows what I went through to get where I'm at now in this business. And for him to actually say that I don't deserve it, he's fooling himself. Because see, this training hasn't just helped me physically, it's helped me mentally. I know I deserve that title. I know I deserve to be on top of that mountain. And come the 25th, I'm going to be the king of the mountain. Watch and see.
Well, I love that you brought the training back up because I know not too long back, Mike Quackenbush was down there at the School of Morton, and I believe you went to his training sessions. Is that not correct?
I sure did, and that was one of the best seminars I've ever been to.
You got to learn a whole lot of stuff from one of the best in the business who's been there, done that, and been around the bush more than one time here. And let me tell you, that man has a wealth of knowledge to give out in any given seminar that he's going to be a part of. Is there anything special that you learned from him that you're going to be using not only at the School of Morton, but also in Gastonia, North Carolina, coming up January 25th?
Brother, when I was at that seminar, I weighed about 350 pounds. And I always got, like I told you, I got trained big man. Well, Mike Quackenbush had me doing kip-ups. And cause that's something a big man has no business doing.
I was just about to say that. You took it right out of my mouth.
And I done 2 of them. And he pushed me until I got it. And with the rest of the stuff that I learned from Mike Quackenbush, you better believe I'm going to use every bit of it come the 25th.
Oh, I absolutely believe that you're going to use every bit that you've learned from him, every bit that you've learned from Casey Kazana, and every bit that you've learned from everybody else that's been at the School of Morton and been everywhere else that you've been training. Now, I know you've been a lot of places here recently, Truk. You are a part of, I believe, over 25 different promotions at one point in time. Let me find it down here because I know I've got it up here. You got all of them. School of Morton, NAWA, LPW, UEW, HWA, IPW, TCW, AWZ, the showcase at SCW, APW, CPW, UCCW, Uprise, of course, Pro Wrestling, SNEW, NBCW, CNW, and so many more, Dump Truck. It looks like that you've got more than 12 plus years of experience. You're out of North Carolina, and tell the people how they can book you today.
You can book me. You can go on my YouTube, my TikTok, my Facebook, my Instagram. You can go all through that. You can go through Jesse's Mindful Creations on Facebook. Jessie handles all my bookings and everything. You want Dump Truck? You want money into your coming back into your company? Book the American Diesel Dump Truck. Because I'm telling you, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I get a connection with the crowd that's unlike any other. And I believe that's why I'm so successful, because I have a following that is my fan base. I never could imagine having a fan base like I have now. I could never imagine that.
And Dump Truck, you're licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. Is there anywhere else that you're licensed?
I'm working on getting licensed in Virginia and Florida and Kentucky and Alabama.
Let us know when you do, because we've got friends all over the place, and we would love to help you get booked in those areas as well.
Oh, I will.
Now, if you don't, go ahead, sir.
Everywhere. I'm ready to take it all over.
If you don't know, the American Diesel dump truck has not only been trained by Casey Kazana himself, Mike Quackenbush, but he's had James Hamby, Manny Fernandez, George South, EC3, Kid Cash, Ricky Morton, and so many more. This man has been trained by the living legends of professional wrestling, and he's willing to go anywhere and everywhere. As long as you all are willing to have the dump truck, he's willing to dump all over you and be a success anywhere that he goes. Now, you mentioned earlier that Jesse, your booker, your lady friend, has a site that she takes everything with. Is that where they can get your merchandise from as well, sir?
Yes, it is. All you have to do is go on Jesse's Mindful Creations, and you can pick up all my merch from there: t-shirts, hoodies, dump truck toys, anything you could think of. But dump truck has their own coloring book. There's a comic book in the works. I'm illustrating a YouTube cartoon. There's a lot of stuff. 2025 is going to be twice as big as what 2024 was.
And as you mentioned earlier, you said that all they had to do is get a hold of Jesse. I'm going to put something up on the screen right now. It's got a picture for you that's got some opening dates. I don't know if any of them have been filled, but at the very bottom, it says contact Angela Holiday or Jesse on Facebook to book your events. And it's showing from January 2025. You have the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 17th, the 26th, and the 31st. Coming up in February, you have the 1st, the 7th, the 9th, the 14th, 15th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 28th open. And you're open for weekend events and podcasts. And all they got to do is get in touch with Jesse, correct?
That is correct.
Excellent. The American Diesel dump truck has been wonderful to have you here today. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but I would like you to say one last thing to the viewers and one last thing to your partner that you're going to be facing the 25th of January in Gastonia, North Carolina at the VFW.
All my fans out there, I love you. Thank you for following the American Diesel dump truck and making me what I am today. I wouldn't be nothing without my fans and without my followers. With that being said, Squeaks Da Clown, Gastonia, North Carolina at the VFW building. Brother, I hope you are ready for a beating like you have never received before. It's brother against brother. And there's one thing in the way, and that's that gold title for SNEW. And I hope to God you're ready to lose it, because the dump truck is going to roll all over you through Gastonia, North Carolina, baby. I hope you're ready.
I hope he's ready for you too, because if he's not, the dump truck is not only going to roll over him, but he's going to leave him at the dump itself, and he's going to take that title home with him, and he's going to be the brand new See No Evil heavyweight champion. And you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be taking place January 25th at the VFW. The doors are going to be opening at 4:30. The bell time is going to be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on out and see the American Diesel dump truck. Let's have some fun together. And remember, guys, you heard it here first, and we're always going to get slammed together right here on Wrestle Talk with the Rabid Beaver. The American Diesel dump truck, thank you, sir, for being here today.
Thanks.
I
also want to throw in that Friday night, I'll be in Sevierville, Tennessee at the Aaron Stevens seminar. And I'm going to learn a little bit more stuff from there for Squeaks too.
Woo! Squeaks, you're going to be getting some good stuff out of the dump truck coming January 25th. And let me tell you what, if you guys are interested in going to that seminar, get in touch with Angela Holiday or Jesse, and they will pull all the information for you. And also the American Diesel dump truck, send him a message on Facebook or on Twitter. He would love to give you the information so that you guys can be involved in that as well. Thank you, Truk, for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I wish you well the 25th of January and at all the tapings for the School of Morton coming up. And remember, guys, we've got a special promo code for you. If you want tickets to the School of Morton, you can get some discounted tickets right there at checkout. Enter the code Rabid Beaver. That's capital RABIDBEAVER at checkout and get them. And remember, guys, if you want to be a part of the Power Slam Club on Buzzsprout and support this podcast, just go ahead and scan that QR code right there and make your love donation to us. It can be anything from $3 all the way up. We would love to have you be a contributor to this and help us keep this on the air for you guys. So thank you guys so much. And I'm going to tell you one more time, the American Diesel Dump Truck, the man of the hour, the man that you want to see in your promotion that can put everything over. Let him roll all over you. Thank you, Truk, for being here.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, sir. Bye, guys.